Thousands of women from all over the country are going to take to the streets of Washington, D.C. tomorrow for the annual Women's March. The first Women's March in this era took place in 2017, and this is the first one since the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade in June. And with midterms just a few weeks away, organizers of the march say they're fighting for the freedom for all Americans to control their own bodies, regardless of gender. So for more on this, let's bring in Tamika Middleton. She's the managing director of the Women's March. Tamika, thanks for being here. This movement...
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. This movement, as I said, started 2017. So take a look at these 5 years of history and assess progress and challenges ahead.
Absolutely. I would say for Women's March, what we are most proud of is that we have been able to consistently bring women out and engage women over the past 5 years and really get them involved in the political process. And so we feel strongly about our impact in being able to vote out a president, get a president out of office that we do not feel represented the values that women believe in, that women stand for. And honestly, we were very much hopeful and had a lot of real positivity as we were coming out of, the last election season around what was possible. And what we know to be true is that there have been so many challenges over the past couple years, so many challenges, especially that impact women and their families. And from everything from Roe v. Wade, the fall of Roe v. Wade this year, but also with the pandemic, with so many women being frontline workers and facing challenges with the economy, from the housing crisis and so many issues that are really important to women. We've had a lot of progress over the last couple of years. We've had a lot of change, and at the same time, there's so much more to do and there's so much farther to go.
So, Tamika, what are you hoping that this year's Women's March can do?
We are hoping that we are able to activate women towards the midterm elections and really demonstrate that women are still here, still fighting, and still standing on our values. It's so important to us that women find each other, that they find their individual power and begin to build our collective power so that we can change the conditions both in our local communities and nationally. And we really want women to be engaged and to demonstrate our both our power, but also our strong discontent, our strong sense of purpose in fighting back against the stripping away of our rights, and in particular, the right to our own bodily autonomy.
And in July of this past year, thousands of women and allies risked arrest outside the White House to send a strong message to President Biden to protect the right of women to choose abortion and push his authority as far as he can. So how is he doing on that score, would you say?
We think that there was a turning point in that moment where we saw President Biden take some active steps in the aftermath, in the weeks that came after our actions in July, where we saw him make the executive orders, where we saw him make some clear and strong statements. And so we feel really hopeful. We feel like he is taking active steps. We see him meeting with reproductive rights groups and reproductive health groups across the country, meeting with legislators across the country to talk about what is possible. And so we feel really hopeful. What we are also paying attention to, however, is the national abortion ban that was introduced by Lindsey Graham. And so we're calling on our legislators as well as our congresspeople to take those same kinds of strong stances and continue to be in the fight with us.
And at least 15 states now, since Roe versus Wade was overturned by the Supreme Court, have banned nearly all abortion services. There's huge swaths of this country, basically a two-tier society for women, one where they have the right to determine their decisions over their own bodies and over the pregnancy, and one where they don't. And I think that might have disheartened some people. It looks like the polls, while they're still very supportive of the right to choose, people maybe are losing heart because it does look like the regime of denying women that choice is taking hold in so much of the country. What do you want to say to those who believe in abortion rights but think their vote won't really make a difference?
You know, I live in Georgia, one of those 15 states where abortion is effectively outlawed in the state. And what I do say is that I look to states like Kansas, where there was an attempt to do the same in the past few months. And the way, even in a deep red state like Kansas, women turned up at the polls, women showed out and stopped that ban from being able to be implemented. And I believe that that is what it takes in this moment. We are seeing women be activated in this moment by the stripping away of their rights. And so we are calling women, you know, we see people hashtag Rovember on social media. And so we're calling people in this moment. We believe there will be a women's wave. We believe in this election, it won't be about a red wave, it won't be about a blue wave, but it will be about the power of women to show up and show out at the polls and to vote our values and to elect officials that stand with us, that stand for our bodily autonomy and our reproductive rights.
Well, it's out of the courts and it's into the streets and into the voting booth. So,
Absolutely.
Tamika Middleton, good luck on your march this weekend, and thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much. You have a good one.
You too. Well, and you can see more on the national debate over the banning of abortion in the new series Impact by Nightline. It's available now on Hulu with new episodes every Thursday.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.